I answer all your emails, take your calls, interview some intriguing guests. Just go to irnchat.com live to interact and listen live to The Outlander Show. Blasting off with some very cool and fascinating UFO reports. The first UFO sighting happened in Saint Lucie, Florida. This occurred January 7th, 2018. In brief, the witness states 3 multicolored objects. Mysterious. In more detail, the witness states, my daughter and son-in-law pulled up to our house. She called me frantic and told me to come out by their truck now. I ran out, still on the phone with her, thinking the worst of things, and they both ran towards me, pointing to the north in the sky. All of us witnessed 3 separate objects flashed multicolors, slower than a strobe light. I myself could see red, blue, purplish, and white, yellowish flash colors. But the 3 of them were spinning around in circles of each other so quickly it was mesmerizing. Up, down, left, right, oval-shaped movement, darting around like almost a game or something. Like fast butterflies, movement were graceful and soft, yet so rapid. Lasted about 2 to 3 minutes. Then they hovered a few seconds before slowly heading northeast. It was a good 4 minutes we watched, trying not to even blink, and they disappeared like a zap. All 3 of us were stunned, shocked, and disbelief. We took the UFO thing as a hoax, joke, science-related objects, Chinese lanterns, satellites, etc. that people were coming up with, but now the 3 of us know otherwise. I'm still shaken up about it, and it was 6 hours ago. I do believe my daughter has footage. I will have her send it to me so I can post it. Cool. Next UFO sighting. This happened in Athol, Massachusetts on December 26, 2017. In brief, the witness states, driving north, me and my brother looked up and saw a green orb fly through sky, lost it in the trees. Hear a lot about green orbs lately, don't we? In more detail, driving down Silver Lake Street in Athol, Massachusetts, I looked out the front window to see a fast-moving green orb descending. It looked like it was making a landing in at Tully Lake, a big lake that's less than a mile from the location spotted. After that, my brother asked if I saw that, and I did, was in disbelief, and thought I was seeing things. So I want, say, going, anything. What the heck? What are they saying? So I want going? I don't understand it. Until he asked if I saw it as well. Was definitely not a shooting star. It was too big and was glowing bright green. People edit your reports. Read through them so we can all learn about what it is you really feel and experience. I just read this stuff. That's it. I can't edit. I do my best as I read it, though. All right. The next UFO sighting. This happened in St. John's, Newfoundland. And lab, huh? Newfoundland and lab? Okay. This occurred October 23rd, 2017. In brief, the witness states object descended at a 45-degree angle and lit up the sky, witnessed by dozens of people. In more detail, this event was witnessed by dozens of people and captured by cameras that were fixed in the downtown area by the harbor front, as well as cameras people had with them. It was thought to have crashed in the South Side Hills, but nothing was ever found. I do believe it went straight into the water on the other side of the hills. I have witnessed this same type thing happening numerous times close to where I live, which is a few miles outside of St. John's, and I do have photos I have taken with my small Kodak camera. Kodak still exists? Okay. It was later thought to have probably been a meteorite. But people familiar with meteorites say it was like nothing they ever seen. I am attaching news articles that have links showing the camera footage that captured the event. I have put 50 as the number of witnesses, but it was much higher than that. Everyone in the downtown area that were outside seen it. That's really, really cool. All right, moving on to the next UFO sighting. This occurred in Toronto, Ontario on December 2nd, 2017. In brief, the witness states two long cylindrical bright objects from hospital bed. They were hovering, then sped eastward. Huh. In more detail, the witness states, I was in the hospital. I woke because I had to use the bathroom. I looked out my window, which was looking north just below the clouds, and I saw two cylinders that looked like bright lights. At first I thought that they were a reflection from something in my room on the window, but so gave the idea a no way. Okay, whatever that means. I looked at the two objects for about 5 seconds, then the 22 cylindrical light sped faster than any airplane could ever move to the east. I am 100% certain that they were UFOs. The speed with which they left was very fast. A few minutes later, I saw an airplane cross my window just before the UFO had been. Just where the UFO had been? Okay. And it took much longer to cross my window than the UFO did. Okay. Moving on. The next UFO sighting. This occurred in Orlando, Florida on January 7th, 2018. In brief, the witness states 8 orange glowing spheres approaching northwest to southwest over the course of 5 to 7 minutes passed over my neighborhood, where I observed 4 of the 8 turn off their orange glow and could see them silently fly in line towards the southwest. Okay, in more detail, and it's a good amount of detail. At about 7 p.m., I was in my car at the intersection of Hargill and Conway Road, heading east into my neighborhood. As I waited to cross the road, I observed 2 orange orbs flying northeast to southwest. One of the 2 orange glowing orbs disappeared from view as the lights dimmed until not visible. The second orb followed suit. Within 2 minutes, a third and fourth orb, coming from the northeast to southwest, flew with an orange glow until the glow dimmed out of sight. Okay. After a minute later, I was at house and observed a 5th glowing orb fly almost directly overhead, looking up at approximately 85%, at about 2,000 feet AGL. Best guess based on my experience as a paratrooper, I took out my phone to take a video, and as I did, the object turned off its lights, and I could see a gray sphere silently fly overhead at the speed of a traffic helicopter until out of view. Well, that's pretty darn specific. Traffic helicopter? Okay. About 2 minutes later, I was on my roof looking to the northeast, towards Titusville, when the 3 orange glowing orbs flying in a line at about 2,000 feet AGL followed an arced path across the southwest. Wow. As each object approached my position, the light it was emitting turned off, approximately above the neighborhood of Dover Manor East, and I could clearly observe 3 gray orbs silently fly above my house on a southwest flight path toward I Drive. Of the 8 orbs I observed, it was the final 4 orbs that I could clearly see after the orange glow ceased to emit from the other object. After the lights were gone, each object appeared to be spherical with absolutely no audible sound or observable propulsion mechanism. The speed, arced flight path, and following in a line behavior of these objects indicate to me that they were not balloons of any kind. Additionally, I live directly along the flight path of the airport and have extensive military experience in and around aircraft, and I can say with 100% certainty that these were not conventional aircraft, either helicopter or fixed wing. The next UFO sighting. This occurred in England, Derby, England to be exact, January 8th, 2017. A bit of a blast from the past, unless they meant for this year, January 8th, 2018, but they put 2017. All right. Possible star, but not seen before brightest in sky changing color. In more detail, the witness states, lying in bed, I always looked to the stars, noticed it by the flashing lights. I'm such a bad British accent. Thought to be a plane or helicopter, but went outside. No noise, staying in one place, so filled out plane or helicopter. I was a bit excited. I tried to zoom in on the phone camera to see it changing colors, vague, not as bright as to the video footage. Unable to zoom, I first noticed it about 1 a.m. It seems to drop off in height a slight bit. Can still see it. If it's just a star, would appreciate the info. Boy, is that chopped up. Man, I thought that over here in the States we wrote biddle gibberish, but that was pretty messed up. All right, moving on. Sorry. Edit is a great thing. Just reread it. I like to learn. I really do. But it's hard when it's just not clear. All right. I know I say it all the time. The next UFO sighting happened in Linden, Michigan. January 5th, 2018. In brief, the witness states saw a huge UFO object outside bedroom window with orange-red lights. In more detail, they say it was about 1:30 a.m. and I noticed out my bedroom window something really large with red and or reddish-orange lights, the size of a car, or if at an airplane level, compare it to 10 planes. Oh, that was huge. It came from the northwest at our home and traveled a straight line to the east, stopping for a moment to hover over our home. It cut diagonally across our yard, sort of going fast, then slow, then fast again. It was there for about 1 minute. I watched from inside. My husband went outside to see it. My phone was charging, so I couldn't take any pictures. My husband said it blinked out when it was in the east. He was pale and knew he saw something that wasn't human when he came in the house. He had also seen the same thing 2 summers ago, I think, also at our house, but then he had seen 8 in a row. We had no idea what it was, so we called MUFON. Wow, pretty jazzy there, pretty jazzy. The next UFO sighting. This happened in Capone Springs, West Virginia, January 6, 2018. In brief, the witness states 2 disc-shaped objects hovering, then shooting into the sky. In more detail, they state January 6, 2018, at approximately 4:06 Eastern Standard Time, myself and 4 other people witnessed 2 disc or oval-shaped objects hovering about 500 feet above Bear Ridge, just northeast of the Capone Springs and Farms Hotel and Resort. These objects were not drones or terrestrial aircraft unless there has been gravity-defying technology created. The objects did not appear to make any noise and was glowing white, bluish with yellow. There did not appear to be any sort of navigation lights on the objects, as would be typically observed on man-made aircraft. The objects were observable for approximately 2 minutes before they shot rapidly toward the sky into a low cloud cover. There was no smoke trail or anything that would be associated with a typical propulsion system. The incident took place above Bear Ridge in Capone Springs, West Virginia. Bear Ridge is situated northeast of the Capone Springs and Farms Hotel and Resort. The coordinates, according to Google Earth, are... Okay, yeah, we don't need all that. Moving on to the next UFO sighting. This happened in Puerto Pensacola, Sonora, Mexico. I don't know if I said that right. This happened January 3rd, 2018. In brief, the witness states larger craft, a straight up and down path, hovered above cell phone tower with bright white orbs. Hundreds. Outside of my sun porch, having a cigarette, casually looked to my northwest and saw larger object rapidly fall, stop, and hover above cell phone tower, and smaller white objects streaking in different directions, some becoming stationary while others disappearing, but all eventually disappeared. It was dark with cloud cover, so I didn't know what it was. As it got light, larger object went straight up and disappeared. Smaller object just disappeared, stationary, before larger object. My reaction was, who am I going to mention this to other than my wife? Well, you could tell the world, but they may look at you funny, but it's okay. You're among friends. All right, this next UFO sighting. This happened in Klamath Falls, Oregon on January 1st, 2018. Two amber-colored square or diamond-shaped lights stationary in the sky just after New Year's. It was just after New Year's Eve, 12:15 a.m., and I was looking and listening to the fireworks. Ha ha, they always are attracted to those darn fireworks. They were going off in my neighborhood and across the city out of my dining room window. I noticed a bright amber light, not moving or stationary, which I thought was very strange as I could see and hear fireworks going off. I decided to go outside in my backyard to get a better look. Once I got outside, I see that there are actually two amber lights, one a little higher than the other. After a few minutes watching the light highest up of the two slowly ascending straight up into what was a light layer of cloud cover. Then after another minute or two, the second light ascended straight up into the cloud layer as well. I could see the clouds reflecting the color of the lights as they ascended. I could no longer see the lights after they ascended. I live on a hilltop on the north end of town with a great view of the city to the south. The lights from my vantage point were to the southeasterly direction. I was looking up at about a 45-degree angle. I took a video of the lights on my cell phone, which doesn't do what I saw justice, but the video basically shows the lights and them ascending up into the clouds as I described. I regrettably used profanity while recording the video, so I am not sure if I should submit. Oh, just go ahead. That's even more fun. Just cuss a little bit. All right. I took a 30-second video and then stopped so that I could turn off the flash on my phone and then continued for another 2 minutes until the lights went out of my view. There is an Air Guard base here on the south end of town, and I am very familiar with the F-15 fighter jets and what they look like at night. I've watched them from my dining room window many times. As far as I know, they were not doing night flight exercises New Year's Eve. I am also familiar with what drones look like at night. These lights were much larger than a drone and too high up to be a drone. I couldn't make out any shapes other than the lights themselves, which were square, diamond shaped. I was really hoping that other people saw the lights, just to give me some validation or an explanation for what I saw. I will validate. You probably saw something that was unidentified and flying and an object. That's a UFO. All right, the next UFO sighting. All right, this happened in, oh, what a name. Legenau, Baden-Württemberg. Stieg schlier durch die Wolken. Ich stand auf Trastig, and okay, I'm not going to do the German. I'm sorry. I have taken German for years, but I can't do it. It's a lot. Einem UFO-Lieder habe ich von meiner ersten Sichtung nach nie jemand davon erzählt. That's the last sentence. Okay, moving on. Oh, my name isn't Heidi for nothing. Ich bin ein Heidi. Okay, moving on. All right, we're going to touch base on a very fascinating article here. Top U.S. counties for UFO sightings. I think we all want to know, don't we? All right, here are more than 3,000 counties in the United States. It's hard to pin down the exact number, however, because of the state level, there seems to be a process of ongoing consolidation of county services in various regions. In terms of national UFO sighting reports, the author thought it would be fun to see which counties had the most sightings based on reports from 2001 to 2015. This little title here says first, California has the most sightings reports at 15,835 during the sample period. Here they always say it's New Mexico, and it's not. Los Angeles County, with a population of about 10 million, has the most sightings with 3,212. I gotta get out there. People always tell the author that they think the volume of UFO sighting reports is strictly driven by the size of the population base. When our book UFO Sightings Desk Reference was released last year, many people remarked, of course California has the most UFO sightings. They have the biggest population. Second place is Maricopa County, Arizona, with 2,523 UFO reports. Note the vast difference in county population bases. Maricopa County has 78% of the UFO reports that Los Angeles County does, but Maricopa has only 40% of the population compared to LA County. How about them apples, huh? Third place, oh, hey, I'm a winner. Cook County, Illinois, that's third place. They logged in 1,431. That involves Chicago, just so you guys know. San Diego, California, fourth, had 1,393. And King County, Washington, fifth place, had 1,393 as well. These three counties are within the 1,400 range, yet the populations are vastly different. Cook County has 5.2 million, San Diego at 3.3 million, and King County with 2.1 million. Orange County, California sits in sixth place with 1,271 sightings, followed by Riverside County, California, 7th place, Clark County, Nevada, 8th place, San Bernardino County, 9th place, and Harris County, Texas, at 10th place. Riverside and Clark both had 958 sightings. San Bernardino had 836, and Harris had 792. Yet while Riverside, Clark, and San Bernardino had county populations averaging 2.2 million, Harris, the lowest of the four in terms of sightings, had a population of about 4.5 million. Horry County, South Carolina, 11th place, had 629. Multnomah County, Oregon, 12, with 621. Miami-Dade County, Florida, 13th place with 619, and Broward County, Florida, 14th place, hosting 590. Yet the population range is eye-opening. Horry County only has a population of about 309,000, and Multnomah County has 790,000. Yet Miami-Dade County has 2.6 million, and Broward County has 1.89 million. The author says, I agree with population is a contributing factor to high UFO sighting numbers, yet there is something else that seems to drive the bigger sighting volumes in lower population areas. They're bored? I don't know. I'm just saying. One concept that has been suggested is the notion that certain locations have had notable sightings in the past. Los Angeles County has had UFO sighting reports since the 1880s, and of course they have had unprecedented Battle of Los Angeles on February 25th, 1942. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up. Battle of LA was for real. All right. And Maricopa County was the location for the March 13th, 1997 Phoenix Lights mass UFO sighting. Another one to look up if you don't know about that one. Is there a generational conditioning at play here? Are people simply looking up more than in the other areas of the country because something amazing happened in the past? Perhaps somebody in the behavioral sciences can study this phenomenon. If you have had a UFO sighting to report, MUFON encourages you to do so because that's how they're adding all this stuff up. So, absolutely very seriously fascinating to myself, and I hope to you guys. All right. I thought it would be cool to read a paranormal, inspirational story, just because. This story is called Angel Story Worked. I am sitting in my office, suffering from terrible cold. My boss is nasty, and somehow I chance upon this article, and in the story, quote, I must have a male angel or guide. The angel asked the man to breathe, and I felt someone telling me to do it too. And I did the same time, and it worked. My cold disappeared. I am not sneezing anymore, and I can complete my work now. Angels exist truly. Hopefully someday I will be able to see my angel. Thank you, angel. Boy, can't a lot of people use that because everybody's got the flu or a cold right about now. So everybody just breathe and maybe you'll be healed. All right, this next story is called Embraced by Love. One Wednesday night back in the late 1990s, I decided to sing for God under the evening stars. We live in a semi-rural area, so thankfully I wouldn't be waking anyone up. I suggested to God that he may want to have some angels doctor up my lame singing voice, as I'm sure he's used to hearing beautiful angel choirs in the heavenly realms. I sang all of my old hymns to God under the night sky, anything that came to my heart that made me feel closer to him. While I was singing, I felt a feeling of being surrounded or embraced by love. After I finished, I instinctively looked up to the rooftop of our home and saw a tall, glowing figure, completely surrounded in a warm, yellow-white light, standing there on our rooftop. I smiled at this being, still feeling that sense of love surrounding me. Then this light person flew off of the roof and up toward the stars as I stood watching in shock. I ran inside to excitedly tell my mother we were both encouraged. Their name is called Goldilocks. That's hilarious. Wow, that was inspiring, I must admit. Well, I have to say thank you for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis. Be sure to check out UFOHeadlineNews.com every single day. And also tune in to my other weekly show, The Outlander, on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And catch my paranormal comic strip, The Outlanders. Just go to theoutlanderscomic.com. And if you've experienced something out of the ordinary and want some level-headed advice